Okay, starting at 150 for my own edification when I edit this onto the video later. Welcome to the Academy round from Sepang North Circuit. Today is a sprint race with two 15-minute races of action for the Academy drivers. 14 of them are on the grid. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, in commentary, and all things great, Byron Dirksen.
What the hell kind of weird name for a track is Spittoon? I don't understand this at all.
Sepang.
You know what I said?
You said spittoon.
Spitang. Isn't that the sound a bullet makes when it ricochets off? Spitang!
I'd like to welcome a newcomer to the grid, Scott Greenfield, who has joined the Academy. He's down
Mr. Green Jeans.
9th place at the moment. It is Johnny Major, Nathan Edward, Zoltan Calmonde, Carl Hackman, and Adelle Fucale making up the top 5.
As if there's green on the field, play ball.
That's true. And coming across the line is, of course, the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Darth Vanger. He's got 2 personal bests. Can he do a better time?
Yes.
He can do a better time, but unfortunately does not improve upon his 13th place on the grid at the moment.
He is the better time.
Coming across the line here, time is running out, so these are the last couple of qualifying laps coming in. Jordan Alcolia coming across the line, currently in P7. We will not see what the lap time he put up unless it is better than the one he has there, and it is. He's up to P6.
Best lap by Senor Juanito Mayor.
Johnny Major on the pole position with a 1 minute 10.412. He will start ahead of Nathan Edward, championship leader, Zoltan Calmonde, Carl Hackman, Adelle Fucale, Jordan Alcolia, Denny Ball, Javier Perez Torres, Scott Greenfield, Tobias Howard, John Picha, Clement Cicier, Frederico Zvanger, and Justin Kratz bringing up the rear.
Bonk, bonk.
Indeed, some Bonk Motorsports cars in the field today.
Very much so. I would like to remind all racers that you do not mess with the Zoltan.
No, you don't. He was the fastest on the leaderboard coming into this as well.
Very nice.
So look out for Zoltan Calmonde to try to make up some ground through the field as the grid is forming up. There we go, as Carl Hackman joins the grid. Solid qualifying effort from Mr. Carl Hackman, P4. Congratulations.
Mr. Hackworth Presenston, noted author.
Indeed. That's
International Crime Syndicate leader.
Last man onto the grid was Mr. Javier Perez Torres, JPT. And the grid is ready to go. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Lights are off, and we are underway. Adelle Fucale getting the focus attention as she has made a move on Carl Hackman into 4th position. And Zoltan Calmonde is going to go deep into turn 1 here. He is the red and black car on the far inside, and he is going to take the lead off of it. Fantastic start for Zoltan.
Indeed, he who you do not mess with.
He is bumping hard, though, with Johnny Major, who's determined to get back out in front, and Johnny does boil his way through. Nathan Edward is in 3rd place, Adelle Fucale, and Jordan Alcolia, a really good start. He's up to 5th place.
Damn it, there was, there's a communicable disease that kind of rhymes with Alcolia. And cholera, there you go.
There you go.
Damn it. Wow, that would have been an amazing joke if I hadn't fucked it all the way up.
If you hadn't fumbled it harder.
It's Sunday evening, and all I can think about is perhaps your boy John Moxley wrestling, perhaps your boy Ishii. That's all my brain will do.
I mean, it's fair enough. This last quarter here is ridiculous. It's like 4 corners in one. Like, it's just a never-ending line through the entirety of the 3rd sector, basically.
That's my, I think that's going to be my next goal for the Trackmania. I'm going to design a track that looks twisty and retarded and nonsensical, but it's all just like 2 straight lines.
Adelle Fucale getting very wide there. Got very late on the brakes, deep into turn 1, and Jordan Alcolia trying to get up the inside. She does defend, though, to the inside. Retains the position. Johnny Major and Zoltan Calmonde were also side by side through that corner as well, so things getting interesting.
Have we determined which twin babe of the ukulele is rolling through here?
I'm kind of hoping to figure it out while we do this, actually, because I don't know.
It's always interesting.
Further back,
leave him with a little mystery.
Carl Hackman's managed to get back past Jordan Alcoli, but as I say this, Alcoli is bullying his way past Mr. Hackman.
Nothing wrong with the bump and grind.
There's a little bump and grinding going on there, that is for sure, but Hackman gets it back! Carl Hackman with the move through the final corner. He is back into 5th place. Scott Greenfield is right behind them along with Danny Ball.
Insert Hackerman.gif.
Yes. Frederico's Vanker's made up a couple spots. He's up to 11th place, and also a good start from John Picha, who's up to 9th.
Federico's doing way better than the national debt.
That's true. Interesting line there from Johnny Major. Leaves himself very exposed to Zoltan Kalmandi and Nathan Edward, both of whom have gotten past him and into the lead, and that's going to bring him under pressure from Adelle Fucale, who is trying to get back up into the podium. By the way, Adelle Fucale had 2 podiums last time we were here in Sepang. Will she make it a 3rd and a 4th? As we have 2 races.
Yes. I'm going to go with yes.
We will see.
Will we? Oh, okay, good.
Hackman is still holding off Jordan Alcoli in the meantime there for 5th place ahead of Scott Greenfield and Danny Ball. And Johnny Major is going to look to try to get back up in front because, you know, he had the pole position. He's definitely got the pace. Needs to turn in some good things. Kalmandi deploying the Romulan cloaking device in the lead.
Sorry, what?
Nathan Edward representing the Walkenhorst Motorsport team. Very famous BMW team, for those not aware. Probably the most famous, actually, of the non-DTM teams.
I go Walken after midnight. You know, there's this car. Everybody's got a Walken impression.
Everybody does.
Mine gets better the longer I do it, but no one has that kind of time.
Johnny Major looking to make a move there on Nathan Edward. Does not work. In the background, Danny Ball has taken 7th place from Scott Greenfield, so he's moving through the field.
Have I taught you nothing? You're supposed to say Danny Ball bounced his way into exposition.
Hey, there's only so many times I can use the bounced.
Son of rebounded, bounced, deflated.
Dribbled.
These are all things you can use.
Well, deflated, he has to go backwards.
Yeah, we're saving that episode for later.
Well, he is rolling his way up to this battle for 5th place between Carl Hackman and Jordan Alcoli. Alcoli looking to go down the outside of turn 1. Hackman moves to the inside to try to defend. Who is going to take it here? Now, mind you, the inside line of turn 1 is not as important as I think some of the Academy drivers were thinking it is, because it turns into the outside line at turn 2. Look at the contact there. Hackman holding on to 5th place for the time being. But this is just playing into the hands of Danny Ball, who would like to see those two bounce each other off the track and let him rebound his way up into 5th position.
Well done, double pun.
Meantime, at the front, it is still Zoltan Kalmandi leading Nathan Edward and Johnny Major. Adelle Fucale in the mix as well. Jordan Alcolia looking to get around the car of Carl Hackman. Carl Hackman doing very, very well, actually. Bringing it up. Doing strong.
So who's on the Tropical Depression team that apparently I've inadvertently created?
Well, it would be the twins, of course, as well as Josiah Jerome.
What about your boy Hackman? Is he too colonial?
They should extend Mr. Hackman a spot on the team. An honorary Caribbean spot.
I think so. Isn't he in the...
Dominican, I do believe.
Dominican, there you go. Not Dominica, but the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, the irony, he's the only one of the 3 that are actually in the Dominican, in the Caribbean right now.
Oh, really?
Well, Josiah lives in the States, I do believe, and the Fucales live actually not terribly far from where I live.
Oh, well, fair enough. Sounds like they're all traitors to the cause. Maybe I don't know if they really deserve the tropical thing. Maybe they got deported.
Oh my God, Wenger is running in the top 10. That is newsworthy right there.
That is the best thing that I've heard in the last 10 minutes.
If this race were to finish right now, the pole position for race 2 would be held by Darth Wenger.
Just hold that position, buddy. Hold that position. You can rage. You can just block everybody else for the next race.
Rage against the force. Ah, he lost it to Justin Kratz.
Rage!
Oh, no. Let's get it back. Come on. Come on, camera. Go look at that battle.
Rage against the dying of the light.
Adelle Fucale has kind of dropped off the back of this fight, so it's a three-way fight for the lead. Fucale in a comfortable 4th position, ahead of Hackman, who is still battling with Alcolia and Ball. Greenfield has kind of fallen off of that battle. Ahead of his twin car, Javier Perez-Torres.
I suddenly have the urge to rewatch the scene from the rundown. You know the one I'm talking about? With
many scenes.
The bagpipes.
Okay, yes, now.
That one.
Yes. I understand your line of thinking at this point.
And the whole thing makes me want to get up and break shit. Rage against the dying of the light.
You know, it figures
Shakalaka.
that I think we have only one duplicate car. We have 2 duplicate cars on the track. And they are Scott Greenfield and Javier Perez-Torres, who are racing each other for 8th place. And the other one is Justin Kratz and Tobias Howard, who are racing each other for 12th place. God damn it.
Well, shit.
Zoltan Kalmandi still in the lead. I believe this would be his first ESR win if he hangs on to the current position over championship leader Nathan Edward, championship dominator Nathan Edward, for being honest. Absent from the race, James Butler, so a big chance for the other championship guys, contenders, to wrap up some points. James, of course, 3 wins this season so far, doing really well after a disastrous stow to open the season, but did very, very well at Race Room Bridge, as well as Portimao, and the previous race we had here at Sepang, which was the other half of the track, the southern end.
Correct. I'm looking, maybe if Alcolia does really well in this race, he can be upgraded to Team Trotting Horst.
Okay. Good.
My uncle races horses.
Indeed.
They are sprightly and numerous.
My grandfather, of course, was a blacksmith who specialized in shoes for horses.
He was not a horse thief?
No, I believe we are descended from, of all things, sheep thieves.
Neat. I mean, that's pretty creative. Everybody else going after horses and cows. Like, no, give me the woolly ones. You just grab them like Velcro and throw them over your shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, they're food and a renewable source of clothing.
Correct. Like that one from New Zealand that escaped the ranch and lived in a cave for
I hate to break it to you, but Nathan Edward going for the lead.
Toit.
Down the inside of turn 1. Can he get in turn 2?
Nudge.
No.
No.
Oh, but Kalmandi loses it. Zoltan Kalmandi is in the wall.
Sir, I will have first place. He, in fact, did mess with the Zoltan. I don't know if that's going to pay off for him in the long run.
I mean, it's paying off in the short term, but Johnny Major's on the charge. Mr. Major would like that win, please.
Juanito, he needs for place.
And it is now Adelle Fucale on the final step of the podium, ahead of Carl Hackman and Jordan Alcolia. Kalmandi has rejoined in, I was going to say 6th place, but Carl Hackman is now falling like a stone, so something has happened to Carl Hackman.
He apparently put a piston entirely through the hood of his car.
And it looks like something's happened to Jordan Alcolia, too, because he's falling like a brick. Why are we not seeing this, camera guy? Come on.
Jordan Colloquial Alcolia.
Alright, so after all the chaos has settled, it's Nathan Edward leading from Johnny Major, and that's not over yet. That's a tight battle. Adelle Fucale, Zoltan Kalmandi, Carl Hackman, Scott Greenfield's up into 6th place in his debut, ahead of Javier Perez-Torres, Jordan Alcolia, Danny Ball, and Johnny the Peach. That's your top 10.
Javi Peachy? Who is man in 14th? I do not recognize his name.
That is Clement Cicere. He's a relatively new addition to the academy.
Oh, hello, Clement. That just reminded me of a Monty Python sketch. Sorry, it happens. But you're gonna learn. You gonna learn today. My brain does weird stuff.
It does things and stuff.
It keeps me out of the really good schools. It keeps me out of doing commentary on some races, apparently, because I've been labeled unprofessional just because I'm unprofessional. I mean,
well, you just admitted to being unprofessional.
You mean, did you see the ACC commentary I did last week?
I did.
I don't know what I
listen to it work.
Goddamn thing. Look, there's a red car. Look, there's a yellow car. That guy's definitely gonna pass this guy. Maybe not. Okay, fine. I can't tell a Lamborghini from a McLaren because they're all fucking kitted up to the tits.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you on that one. There's definitely, I would say, there's a couple of cars that are very obvious. An Audi, I think, is pretty easy to tell. Aston Martin, fairly decent. Mercedes.
Yeah, Aston Martin, I can definitely tell because they got those grills.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Aston Martins.
But yeah, I mean, a McLaren, a Ferrari, and Lamborghini is kind of very similar from a distance.
I can't tell an AMG from a GT3 or an NASCR or a fucking patrol boat.
I hope you can tell the patrol boat from all.
Maybe. Depends on how fast you're driving. It could look like a patrol boat if you go fast enough. Just hydroplane.
The leaders are coming up to possibly lap Clement Cecere. Probably about 2 laps to go in this race. Don't think they'll catch him, but we'll see. Clement is a little bit off the back end of everybody.
Must not nickname Clementine. Must not. How about Clement Salvatore Cecere?
Ah, there you go.
See, it's a wrestling reference. If you don't understand, I don't blame you. It's a little bit of a deep cut.
Sir, I am all about the deep cut.
Correct.
Johnny Major is looking like he fancies that first place. He really does. Speaking of wrestling fans, shout out to Johnny Major watching the G1 Climax.
Oh, is Johnny Major a G1 guy?
That is the guy.
Fuck yeah.
He's the New Yorker.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, we were having a conversation. Sorry, I was like most of the way through a big bottle of whiskey at that point. I remember the conversation vaguely.
It looks like he's gotten the lead over Nathan Edwards, though he pulled away at the conclusion of the move there to look at Javier Perez-Torres. And no disrespect to Javier Perez-Torres, but oh, Johnny went wide. Johnny went wide, and heading into the final lap, it is going to be Nathan Edwards still leading the way. The person who's actually gaining on this battle is Adelle Fucale, so if they keep messing around, it may become a 3-way fight for the lead. Probably not. 2.9 seconds is a fairly safe gap, but still could be a thing.
We've seen some tomfuckery a little earlier in the race. There might be a first-place finish for Adelle in the offing.
There may be Jordan Alcolia looking to get down the inside of Scott Greenfield, walking into the grid. And he did get past, but as I said, turns into the inside of turn 2, and Scott Greenfield, I think, got that position back.
Mr. Green James himself.
Big run from Carl Hackman. I don't think I've seen Carl Hackman quite this close to the front of the grid before, so that's very nice. Big three-way fight here between Greenfield, Alcolia, and the Bonk Motorsports car of Danny Ball.
Bonk, bonk. There needs to be is there a horn button in this game? Because he needs that to be his horn. It's like bonk, bonk.
There is unfortunately not. It's really just a flashing of the headlights that you can express your annoyance through. Oh, he is getting down the inside there of Jordan Alcolia, looking to get through, looking to find that basket, looking to find that spot. And the race is officially checkered flagged. Nathan Edward is your winner from Johnny Major and Adelle Fucale. Jordan Alcolia holding on against Danny Ball. Holding on. I think he's got it. But the guy who benefits off that is Scott Greenfield, who's going to come across the line in 5th position. By the way, something happened with Carl Hackman towards the end. He's dropped all the way back down to 9th place. What happened to Hackman?
Federico's almost 10th place. Tobias has a substantial lead. We're probably not going to get there.
Yeah, it looks like we're riding with John Picha, who is catching Justin Kratz here towards the end of the race. Something must have happened to Picha, because he was running it substantially higher than the 13th place we were showing him in now. So maybe a little bit of a collision at some point. It will be Tobias Howard and Carl Hackman on the front row for race number 2.
We're having a conversation with Tobias, a.k.a. Toby Howard, the other day in chat, and somebody started doing Roots memes and quotes. It was a little awkward.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
I recall, I was like, I'm not going to say it. I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it out loud. because I don't know Toby that well.
So for race 2, the top 10 will be inverted. Tobias Howard taking the pole position. Nathan Edward will start from 10th as he tries to go for the double. Clement Cecere will bring up the back of the pack in 14th position. And we are getting ready for race number 2 here. So who do you got in race number 2? Who do you like the chances of?
Well, you want to do good, so you try and do good. You promote hatred, so you got to go with Federico Svanger. Other than that, I don't know, like all of the depends on which sister is racing. If we have I didn't see a ton of aggression, so I don't think the Gemini ukuleles are going to do spectacular from this far back in the pack.
We'll have to see. I think Carl Hackman's one to look for, starting on the front row. We know he's got some pace.
I don't know, like, Toby generally finishes toward, like, the back third from what I've seen in a limited, sample size. So I don't know who's going to... I'm going to go with probably... I mean, Greenfield did pretty well. He went far back and then came back up. And Danny Ball seems to have a certain spring in his step.
Certain bounce.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go all the way.
Whoa! Someone's going in deep. Someone went in deep there. Oh! Javier Perez Torres gets spun around.
Ding, 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 ding.
There's a lot of carnage going on right now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Lord.
The pile up. And look who snuck through.
It's your girl. Well played. That's, how many points in pinball is that?
That's a lot of points in pinball.
Toby gets away clean as a whistle. Jordan, not too bad. Danny manages to rebound quite nicely.
Indeed, it's Tobias Howard from Jordan Alcolia, Danny Ball, Scott Greenfield, 4th place.
Johnny Green James.
Now, mind you, the guy I'm looking for, though, is that 5th place car right there. Johnny Major up from 9th on the grid to 5th already.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Mr. Hackperson seems to have been unceremoniously removed from the stage.
I believe his internet unfortunately failed.
Womp.
I remember wondering that myself when I saw that he had retired from the race. I'm like, oh, don't tell me it's a rage quit, and then got this standard user has left the channel. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking his internet may have failed. Tobias Howard is dropping like a stone right now, though. He's gonna... big contact with Fucale.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like Fucale has survived it, so new top 5. Jordan Alcolia leads Danny Ball, Johnny Major, Scott Greenfield, and Adelle Fucale. Zoltan Calmandi having a pretty decent run.
Federico's in 7th place.
Federico's Vanger's in 7th place. Oh my god!
Go, Federico's, go!
You know who's come up nicely? The whole carnage worked out nice because Clement Cecere, who started dead last, is in 8th.
Well played. Where perhaps there was some inclement weather.
Oh, that's a good one. Adelle Fucale into the top 5, looking to get around Scott Greenfield. And I may have just given her Caster's Curse because Zoltan Calmandi is up the inside. Looking for the top 5 position again.
Zoltan Calmandi.
Zoltan had, of course, that meeting with the wall in race 1 that definitely cost him a podium. He's got an immense amount of pace here. Just not necessarily the cleanest. By the way, a part of a car there has become embedded in the track. Interesting graphical glitch there. Calmandi and Fucale going side by side again. It should be mentioned, I believe Fucale is a Hungarian name, so that's the intrigue there. The battle of the 2 Hungarians on the grid.
I'm trying to grow some hot Hungarian peppers in the parents' greenhouse this year.
Perhaps you should ask Mr. Zoltan for some tips.
Probably. Well, he's just going to say, throw it on everything.
And some recipes.
Yeah. I'm just going to stuff it with rice and hamburger and then eat it.
Well, their fighting has paid off for Scott Greenfield, who's holding a pretty solid 4th place at the moment. Danny Ball still challenging Jordan Alcolia for the win. I don't believe Jordan or Danny Ball have triumphed in a ESR race so far, so that could be an interesting first-time winner, perhaps, between those 2.
Perhaps.
And also, this might be the first-time win for... No, I'm incorrect. Edward Gonzalez, of course, was the first winner for Bonk Motorsports. By the way, also absent from the grid today, Edward Gonzalez.
What a hooker. How dare he leave me like like this.
Fucale is back up on the tail of... Oh, but getting very, very wide there. Pulls it back in time to deny Zoltan Kalmandi 5th position and follows Scott Greenfield through the second turn there. Still in 7th place, by the way, Frederico Svanger. Could we be seeing a great result here for the Greekmen?
And then you say that out loud, and then
I did maybe cast a curse in there as Johnny the Peach has gotten through. You know who's having a pretty bad race, though, is race 1 winner Nathan Edward down there in 10th place.
Well, I mean, he is very short.
And of course,
I have no actual proof that's true.
And of course, Javier Perez Torres bringing up the back along with Tobias Howard. They had a bit of a rough time there at the start. That was Perez who got spun around and caused all of that contact. So he'll be looking for somebody to blame and maybe bring to the steward's office after the race.
Javier El Tornado Perez Torres.
Are we going to get a 3 wide here? That'd be kind of interesting.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, not really, no. Looks like... Oh, Danny Ball is under attack from Johnny Major. Contact, and Major spins it. Major drops it.
I need to know.
No, Johnny Major. That has promoted Scott Greenfield briefly to a podium, and then he instantly loses it to Adelle Fucale. Adelle knows...
Zoltan.
Adelle knows a podium when there is one on offer.
Current leader, Jordan the Paella Apocalypse, El Colia.
Indeed. Scott Greenfield still fighting with Zoltan Kalmandi. Gets back into 4th place there. Good work by him. Danny Ball chasing victory against Jordan Alcolia here. Nathan Edward has finally gotten up past Clement Cecere into 9th position. So he is coming through the grid, but it's taken him about half the race to make up 1 spot. That's a little bit concerning for Nathan Edward. And Danny Ball.
I believe Nathaniel is more widely known as Formula Sloth, so I mean, I'm not totally surprised.
Hey, slow and steady, man. He wins the race. Wins the championship, anyway.
Slow as smooth, smooth as fast.
Another very wide line there from Adelle Fucale, and Scott Greenfield getting a little crossed up there, and that's going to let Zoltan Kalmandi back into 4th position.
Scotch.
And further back, Nathan Edward is taking on Mr. Frederico Svanger.
You can do it, Federico. Get all the way up into that podium.
He loses the spot to Nathan Edward.
Damn it.
Nathan Edward, championship leader, now up into 8th place. Clement Cecere on the attack against Vanger, and also in the mix there is Justin Kratz. So, and Tobias Howard and Javier Perez Torres. There's a huge battle going on for 9th right now.
Have a crat.
I'm kind of hoping the camera goes back to the back of the pack so that we can watch that. There's some crazy shit going on back there. Danny Ball looking to bring joy and power to the Bonk Motorsports team, which has not had a victory since the first race at Stowe, won by Edward Gonzalez. Looking down the inside here into turn 1. Can he make it stick? I think he can. Nope. Getting too wide. And that's going to let Jordan Alcolia retain the position for the Walking Horse team. In the meantime, Fucale still holding off Kalmandi in the battle for 3rd place. Those two are probably the quicker than these 2 cars, so we'll see if they can maybe make some ground up. Scott Greenfield's still in the top 10 ahead of top 5 ahead of Johnny Major, John Picha, Nathan Edward, Clement Cecere, and Tobias Howard rounding off the top 10. And Vanger is getting a little physical with that's Clement Cecere there and Tobias Howard.
Unleash the Vanger.
Indeed.
Let the Vangriness flow through you. I would like to congratulate Jordan for channeling his inner Eric Friesen and choosing the Crayon Bomb car.
And indeed, a little bit of Crayon Bomb. Not as good as Eric's car, but
it's
pretty good.
Understated.
Yeah, pretty good. Danny Ball still looking for a way around. He's going to try the outside of turn 1, which is going to turn into the inside of turn 2. So there is some potential here, despite the fact that it is giving Alcolia yeah, but Alcolia loses a little bit too.
What the hell was that? Did he hit the brakes?
No, I think he lost traction. He lost traction. He went too deep.
I'm not sure how that works, but okay.
Danny Ball to the lead. I would say that's a creative driving by Danny Ball, but at the same time, I gotta say that's more of a mistake on Jordan Alcolia's part.
You'd say that was a classic bounce pass?
That is a classic bounce pass right there, man. I mean, behind the back and everything. A little bit of contact, a little bit of work in the paint.
A little bit of a housey father.
And I'll tell you, there's someone back in third place probably just going, yes, just keep doing that.
I swear, every time I do a British accent, one of our members is just listening going, if I was bigger, I'd suplex the fuck out of you for that.
And if I wasn't British, I'd suplex the fuck out of you for that.
Hey, British wrestling joke, MMA fans, rejoice.
I'm sorry, guys, your best wrestler is fucking Leon Edwards.
The best wrestler is Michael Bisping.
Nah, it's Edwards. Edwards is a pretty good wrestler, actually.
Don't lie to the people.
Edwards just out-wrestled Rafael Dos Anjos this weekend.
That's because fucking Dos Anjos can't wrestle.
Dos Anjos can wrestle, but historically has been a little bit weak against wrestling. Well, Edwards also out-wrestled Donald Cerrone.
Donald Cerrone can't wrestle either.
Cerrone can wrestle.
He cannot.
He's only been out-wrestled by Ben Henderson and Habib Nurmagomedov and RDA, who are all pretty damn good.
Your boy is amazing. The cowboy is the best. But he's a Muay Thai BJJ guy, and there's no real middle ground there. Don't lie to the people. Just because he can outman most men doesn't mean he's a good wrestler.
He can out-wrestle people.
I disagree.
There are definitely people that Donald Cerrone has won a wrestling match.
Can they also wrestle?
Yes.
I don't believe you. Okay, I believe
he is deceptively good wrestling. Nathan Edward up into 7th place, having gotten past John Peach. Yeah, Bisping's a great example of that as well. Very deceptively good wrestler. John Peach is having none of it, though. He's looking to make the championship leader work for that 7th place.
John Peach is going to pick his spot.
He's going down the inside, but that's going to turn into the outside at turn 2.
Not if he cut hard enough.
Can Edward get in there? No.
Power dive.
Nathan Edwards got it. He's got it.
That's correct. Actively requesting dirty play.
7th place for the championship leader. Johnny Majors, by the way, made his way into the top 5, having passed Scott Greenfield. So Greenfield is next up on Nathan Edwards' list. Jordan Alcolia has dropped down to 4th place. So what happened to Jordan Alcolia? Danny Ball has lost a lot of his lead. I think Ball and Alcolia have had it coming together, and this has opened the door for both Adelle Fucale and Zoltan Kalmandi for the Racing 1 team up into the podium position.
I heard that Jordan Alcolia has a bandolier stuffed with port.
Interesting, if true. Zoltan Kalmandi riding in the draft of Adelle Fucale. They are 2nd and 3rd. Just ahead, you see the race leader, Danny Ball. Kalmandi trying to go down the inside. Fucale leaves some room and will happily take the inside line into turn 2 and retain 2nd position there. Johnny Major is on the attack and has gotten through on Alcolia into 4th position. So Johnny Major on a charge. He is definitely a danger man. Scott Greenfield back in 6th place, Nathan Edward in 7th. Not too far off of this, actually, with John Peach in 8th.
Correct. I see on my Steam friends list that your boy, Taserface,
yes,
is playing Heroes of New Earth 4, which is weird, but okay.
That's a new one. I don't think I've seen him play that before.
That's all he plays. He doesn't play anything else.
Plays Dota, Race Room. A little bit of Rocket
Shut up! You're ruining my joke!
It's not a very funny joke.
It's an inside joke that only you would understand.
Fine.
It's not really that true.
I was going to say, that's definitely not true, but whatever. I'll let you have it.
Ruin everything I create.
I do not ruin everything you create. I accentuate a lot of what you create.
You destroy and pillage perfection, and you shall be deported back to your Montenegrin highlands.
Nathan Edward is on the attack against Scott Greenfield. He's made up a lot of ground on Greenfield here in what basically amounts to 1 lap. I think Greenfield made a mistake because he's dropped back from Alcolia. And Nathan Edward will now go into 6th position, championship leader, on the charge to try to minimize the damage of what has not been an amazing race for him.
Can we say that Danny Ball has rebounded nicely?
Danny Ball has rebounded in absolute style, my friend. I mean, this is like a triple-double here. Like, that's how good this is.
Whoa.
And the Bonk Motorsports crew is no doubt cheering in the pit lane as we are on, I believe, the final lap. No, I think we'll have one more lap after this. One more lap after this.
No more laps. End of race.
No. This is going to be one more lap for sure. As Danny Ball crosses the line to start the final lap ahead of Adelle Fucale, Zoltan Kamandi, Johnny Major, and Jordan Alcolia. All nicely in this one shot. Top 5. Zoltan looking down the inside again. He's tried this a couple of times and it has not worked yet, although this one looks like it might be the closest. But Fucale slams the door shut and retains second position.
Very nice.
Coming through in the background there is Alcolia. Got to feel... We don't know what happened to Alcolia, and I'd like to see a replay of that. The coming together between Alcolia and Danny Ball that almost assuredly happened and resolved this race in the favor of Danny Ball.
Probably some bad shellfish.
Maybe. That's possible. Johnny Major is sniffing a podium. He'd like a double podium here. He's all over the back end of Kalmandi and Fucale. Checkered flag is out, so when they cross the line, they will be completed. It is going to be Danny Ball who takes his first ESR victory ahead of... Right now it's Adelle Fucale, but Kalmandi is determined to make something happen here, but he will not be able to do so. Adelle Fucale second ahead of Zoltan Kalmandi, Johnny Major, Jordan Alcolia. We ride with Clement Cecere, who's trying to track down Federico Zvanger for 11th position.
Oh, he's racing the dick pill car.
He is.
Which we obviously know that's not the case. We did research in a previous video.
Yeah, we did. Tune into our last video if you aren't aware of this.
Never allow the facts to get in the way of a good joke.
Exactly, sir. We are all about the pro wrestling adage of never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
You just don't understand the story we're trying to tell. Road Dogg 2019.
Road Dogg.
In 2018.
Oh, hey, Vanger goes across the line in style.
We're going to flash my ass at the camera. Fuck you.
Bringing up the rear, Tobias Howard. So your final results, Danny Ball from Adelle Fucale. Double podium for Fucale. Zoltan Kalmandi, Johnny Major, Jordan Alcolia, Nathan Edwards, Scott Greenfield, John Picha, Javier Perez-Torres, Justin Kratz, a good solid 10th position ahead of Federico Zvanger, Clement Cecere, Tobias Howard, and unfortunately, a retirement for Carl Hackman. That is all.
Choice.
But that's true. That is all from Sepang North. Next round will be the Race Room Raceway Grand Prix edition as opposed to the Bridge edition. And looking forward to that endurance round for the 101 guys. And of course, 201 will take to the track here with yours truly looking to not finish in dead last place. It's very comforting there, sir.